Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
Never the aspirational hope that we all want America to have. Never pride in America. Just grievance.
Yep.
Thank you, Claire McCaskill. I'll drink to that. Look, I brought my wine enthusiast glass. Oh, they're very spotty, but aren't they fantastic?
Those are huge.
They're massive. My God, you could fit a whole bottle in there. Like a
Right.
whole bottle of Carlo Rossi.
Yeah, don't you feel like this Shut the Up Donnie t-shirt will just be, it will be relevant forever.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the latest, let's update you. I was listening to legal experts on the TV discussing how evidence of threats made against a judge and his staff in New York's civil trial will now be used in Trump's D.C. trial as the gag order there is being appealed. Lisa Rubin, the legal analyst, said, so now you have two judges, one in a criminal case in D.C. and one in a civil case in New York dealing with a similar issue, which is that Donald Trump is a defendant and he is speaking in ways the government thinks and the court has agreed, the trial court has agreed, endangers the integrity of the judicial process. Both of these so-called gag orders are on appeal, and both are stayed pending appeal, meaning they are not yet in effect pending the outcome of that appellate process. But the reason they relate to each other is the history of violence, a history of threats to witnesses, potential jurors, to court personnel, to prosecutors is relevant in both cases. As our caller quoted Nicole Wallace before she selfishly went off willy-nilly to have
How
a child.
dare she have a
And
family?
leave me abandoned
Without
in the
permission.
afternoon. Anyway, but she just said, I think we all know some bad is about to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, anyway, this, Lisa Rubin said, in addition to excerpting some of the most vile threats against the principal law clerk, which primarily have to do with her relationship with the judge and her religion, encoded in those are also threats against Letitia James that take on a very transparently racist nature. She said also threats against the judge who himself is Jewish. Therefore, those are anti-Semitic. There's also a suggestion of homophobia. It's not just a suggestion. There's more than a whiff of it. There's some real homophobia in those threats, too. It's sort of a cataclysm of isms, so to speak. And yeah, we wanted Rude Pundit, you know, because of his powers of profanity, was able to decode these horrible messages. She said, Lisa Rubin said, I've transcribed the voicemails that have been left for Judge Angoran, who's the clerk,
Right.
and his chambers. They fill 275 single-space pages. There's not just a correlation between, you know, a Trump post and an uptick in the threat environment, but you can actually quantify that. So let's hope there will be a Shut the Up Donnie order in our very near future. Okay. By the way, we mentioned this yesterday. Leslie Jones, I think, retweeted. I don't know who this woman is, but
She's fantastic.
She's my new spirit warrior. She is. She's Kelly.
Kel Bell.
Kel Bell on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is just. She has some thoughts.
she does.
She has some fifis and some thoughts on
She
people
works
threatening.
blue?
She does work blue.
Yes, and
Okay.
threatening not to vote third party, blah blah blah. And framed it around home improvement shows. It's brilliant.
My husband and I talk about this a lot, and we frame it around home makeover shows, right? Like, you know, those home makeover shows where they give the owner of the house a sledgehammer and let him go to town on a wall, knocking it down, breaking it down, burning it down, whatever, right? It's because demolition does not take any skill, right? Unless you are trying to preserve something, unless you're trying to preserve the foundation of the house, or you're trying to preserve like the support beams of the house that keep the roof from falling in on your head. Other than that, they give the owner a sledgehammer and say, go crazy.
Right, because that's fun. That's why
Right.
Gallagher made a living. It's fun smashing things and
Yeah.
people
Hulk smash.
Yes. That's exactly what people, right? They want, that's voting for Trump or voting for a third party. They just want to smash crap, right? They just want to, like, let's see what chaos will look like. Or
David Letterman would drop things off of
Thank you.
10-story buildings.
Yes.
Yes.
And that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, and now people are doing that with our democracy.
Yeah.
Isn't that fun now?
Uh-huh.
Okay, please, Belle, go on.
Because demolition takes no skill, and because the homeowner has already trusted that the developer and the builder is not going to allow them to break down anything that is important or super important to the structural foundation of the house. So all of y'all out there who are hollering about vote third party or don't vote for the Democrats or don't vote for Joe Biden or whatever, y'all are the homeowners with the sledgehammer just wanting to swing away and tear down everything. But some of us out here know how to read blueprints.
You know what they're doing?
What?
You know what they're doing, Chris?
What?
Third-party voters?
What?
They're tearing down that bitch of a bearing wall.
And
They
putting a
are.
window where it ought to
Not
be.
to be.
Not to be. It's a
A
bearing
window
wall.
into fascism. They're tearing down a bearing wall. That's the whole point of that scene. Is you're not supposed to tear down a bearing wall.
Tear down that bitch of a bearing wall and put a window where it ought to be.
A window into fascism where it
There-
ought to be.
That's it. It's the fascism window.
Uh-huh.
Please, Belle, continue.
And we are trying to tell you that, baby, if you want to burn it all down, you're going to burn down your support beams. You're going to burn down the structural foundation of the house, and you're going to be left in the rubble. Then what? Now, listen, I understand you have big feelings about this, and I get it. But you have to also think and strategize and be smart and look at the blueprint and realize that if you burn it all down, you're going to have nowhere to live.
I like her. She's
She
blue.
is, yes, fantastic and blue. Please.
The GOP, they got emergency tents out back, baby. You don't have any of that. So while y'all are hollering about burning it all down, what do you have in the interim for when it's all burnt down and there's smoke and ashes? What do you have for the people to survive on? What are you going to do when the GOP holds all the legislative power and cards in their hand and they make anything they want illegal and then gonna throw your ass in prison for any thing? What are you going to do then?
So fantastic. I could listen to her all day.
I know.
Y'all with this, well, just do this and that, the other. Y'all don't even know how to read the blueprint, because if you did, you would understand that third parties aren't even on the ballot in every state in this country. Therefore, in there too, they can't even win. They cannot win. It's not feelings, it's math.
Okay, I want to fill both of these giant glasses
love
of wines
her
from
so
Wine
much.
Enthusiast. I want to just hang out with her all
I
night.
love her so much.
Oh my God. Okay, keep going.
You ain't ready for the that we're gonna have to go through when the GOP has everything under control and turns this bitch into an authoritarian state. You're not ready for that kind of suffering. And baby, if you're ready to die to stop somebody else's genocide, if you're willing to set yourself on fire to keep somebody else warm, then sign your ass up for the military and take your ass over there and fight, okay?
I'm with her.
Oh my God. I want to kiss her and date her and marry her.
know.
Okay.
Y'all have not done the work on the ground to get any third-party candidate, whether it be state or federally, to get on in ballots. And again, there are rules to this. Those of us who know how to read the blueprint, we know the rules. We know where the foundation beams are. We know where the water mains are. We know where your electrical systems are. And you don't. You just want to burn down and replace it with nothing.
I love her.
Oh God, I love her so much.
I
can't
heart her.
stand it.
I
All right,
heart her.
okay. Oh, okay. Just one last one.
If you have an actionable plan to get whatever you want done, I'd love to see it. Please show me how in the next 12 months you are going to introduce a new person as a candidate for president, get them on the DNC primary ballot, get the delegates and the super delegates to get support behind them, then get them on the national general ballot, then get them elected by at least 60% of this country. If you have a plan for that, please, I'd like to see it. And I'm being sincere.
Go on, cowbell.
I love her.
Oh my God. I'm going to fill up my entire monogrammed Miller wine glass from Wine Enthusiast.
Oh, that can hold an entire bottle.
And drink.
Practically.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're just having a glass.
Glass. It's just one glass. That's what you're allowed to have.
She's fantastic.
Isn't
Can
she
I just
great?
say, oh my God, the passion and the fury, that's
And the
exactly
smarts.
the level of alarm we should be at.
Yeah.
As we're, literally, she could not say it any better, right? Read the blueprint, for God's sakes. There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry. If I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.